There are more than 317 million people in the United States, but only one-third consider themselves very happy. There is something that people might forget, something that is always there, but we never realized it. It is called gratitude.
Gratitude, well, first of all, I think it comes from inside our hearts to appreciate the things we have every day. I think there's so many things we could take for granted. Just getting up in the morning, having life and energy is just a gift every day.
So it's being thankful, and it's acknowledging and honoring the fact that other people and their generosity have shared with me.
Gratitude is about noticing. Noticing what's around us, what's within us, because we're filled with blessings.
I even keep, when I do my morning meditation and prayer, I actually have a gratitude journal. And I think about the day before, and I write down all the beautiful things that happened to me. Great conversations with people, even sometimes just the fact that I have food, I have shelter, I have a warm bed, I have friends. There's always something beautiful, usually many things to be thankful for. And then I write it down, and it makes me happy because I realize that, there is always a lot to complain about, but there's also a lot to be grateful for. Reality is a very big thing, So in my life, at any given moment, there's negative parts of reality and there's positive.
Be something in our life that makes us suffer, that's disappointing or doesn't meet our expectations. And I notice if we just dwell on that, we will lose sight of everything else. Because usually there's just that one small negative thing when there's hundreds of positive things around us. And if we zero in on the negative, our whole attitude changes. Our mind, we become sad, we become resentful, we become fearful.
But if I stop, take a step back, and say, wait a minute, okay, it's true. X, Y, and Z are not going very well right now. But if I really stop and think about it, I still have A, B, C, D, E, F. And I think it's in those moments of difficulty that gratitude is the most helpful, because it forces me to remember all of the ways that I've been blessed, all the good things I have in my life. And it forces me to, I think, be more reasonable in terms of seeing all of reality and not just seeing a few limited parts. So there's always something to rejoice about. There's always something to be grateful for. I had this one little story that I'll share with you. Once I was in an airport, and we had to get a connecting flight, and the connecting flight got canceled. So everybody had to stay overnight in the airport, and so we all had to wait in line to get our voucher stamped so that we could go to the hotel and then get our flight in the morning. And it was about 9 o'clock at night, so people were upset because they wanted to go home and see their families. So we're waiting in this line, and I remember there was a lady in front of me and there was a lady behind me. And the lady in front of me was so angry, and she was just complaining. And people were kind of getting sick of her because she was swearing, and she was just like, this airline is terrible, and I got this and this and this. And, she was just kind of spreading negativity. And the lady behind me was saying, she was laughing. She said, if this is the worst we have to suffer, she goes, so we missed our plane. They're going to put us in a hotel. We'll have a warm bed. They'll fly us home tomorrow. There's no one shooting at us. They're going to give us a voucher for a meal. No harm done. We're blessed. And I remember thinking, I want to hang out with that lady, not this other lady. But it really struck me that the same exact event is happening. But two people experience it very, very differently, because one is focusing only on the negative and one is choosing to focus on the positive. And I was kind of in the middle. So I tried to follow the lady who was grateful, because I thought there's a lot of positive energy coming from her. She's everybody kind of just wanted to be around her because she was positive. She was grateful for what she had.
When she died, I used the rose as her symbol because she made us always see the flower. Even though there were thorns, she didn't focus on those thorns. She just let us see the beauty of the flower. And I really admire that very much about my mother. And so I try to work on myself so that I could have that quality. And the more I did it and the more I had that attitude, I realized, wow, this is really the key to happiness. Because happiness really begins in our mind. It's the way we're thinking about things, looking at life. It's in our mind. First, it's in our thoughts. I think when I'm not grateful, I'm never satisfied. And I live like a spoiled person, like never appreciating what I have and wanting more. And nothing is ever good enough.
And in fact, I've noticed that if I'm kind of getting into a funk, usually one of the big reasons is because I've forgotten gratitude.
But when I'm grateful, everything is good enough. It's more than enough.
Because we've probably all known people that have a lot of stuff. They're not happy. And you can meet people who physically, materially are very poor, but they're happy because they're grateful.
Every day, there's always something to be grateful for. Sun, water, food, nature, technology, friends, and every single moment of our life. Because happiness does not depend on outward things, but on the way we see them.